Hello everybody, welcome to the second video of Friday. This one is going to be a Necropolis info roundup. So one main thing I think a lot of people are doing is they're trying to kind of get informed and get, well, informed information of things like when it comes to like team setups, like tips and tricks and stuff like that. Of course, there's lots of different places out there. You know, you could look at the Pepe original run, you could look at Seaton's Easy Path guide, but there's also like a ton of other type of places to go to gain information, and that's what we're going to cover in this video, and put links in the description to the places that I'm referring to. Also, you know, team configurations from you, the community, and I thought this is very interesting because it just puts together some stuff. And of course, there'll be like videos like spreadsheets, guides that I'll be looking to do closer to when I do my run, which may be in 2 weeks' time. So the kind of plan with that is that I'm waiting to see what happens with Cyber Weekend, where you can get the next rank up gem, as in the 2 to 3. Can you get that from the Cyber Weekend deals? Can you not? If you're not, then it's a case of like I'll invest the units in a different way. But we'll have to see. But in any case, let's get into the video. So one of the first things is one fantastic video is done by Nagacy, which I've put a link in the description. I think I'm saying that, or Nagace, I think it's Nagacy. Go and check it out, link in the description. It's all about how to take down Nameless Grandmaster in the most efficient way possible. Really good video. I really enjoyed watching this and kind of listening to the thought processes, yeah, just found it really interesting. I think there's going to be a bone of contention as to like what champions you bring in for this fight, whether or not it's the case you use Wiccan, whether or not you use reverse control champions, reverse control immune champions, and stuff like that. The other thing that I enjoyed, or stream, not thing, kind of like video, stream, whatever you want to call it, and that is Metal Sonic Dude's run. I think this is, you know, just a showcase of a fantastic player in action, and it's something that I've been enjoying, you know, on my lunch break today, watching this and kind of just looking at the majesty of playing like an absolute, you know, boss that MSD is. But yeah, like he just showcases some amazing damage, interest, and you know how he looks to take down the Grandmaster and other champions, especially like X Nova. What a tricky situation this presents, but lots of damage and lots of interest. And of course, Kate Bishop does an intense amount of damage in this particular pair up, which is always very nice to see and it's incredibly fun. So go and check that out, and a link in the description. The other thing is path planning. So a good friend of the channel, Super Duper Boo, has done a path guide. This is really cool because it kind of reminds me of the old days of the Abyss one and Labyrinth one that what was he called? MCOC True Cost used to do. Wow, that's a name I don't think a lot of people have heard in a very, very long time. But of course, it's always cool to see these particular, you know, setups and maps and infographics. So check that out, and the link in the description. The same thing goes to MCOC Avenger, who does a similar thing, which, you know, again, looks brilliant. This is a fantastic, again, another fantastic little infographic of the paths. You can see there, it's looking nice and pristine. Love seeing these. Love seeing the detail that goes into them, and also just good for kind of like the planning and the setup and how you want to go with the stuff. So MCOC Avenger, you can check out in the link in the description down below. Right, now let's talk about team configurations, and that is going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Like how you set this up, whether or not indeed you're going for the setup, as you can see on screen, between having Aegon as your lead champion, having you know, Juggernaut in, because, well, I think that's been brought in for this particular player because Juggernaut's a reverse control immunity champion and it could be a keen option. Proxima is all about helping out Aegon, and we'll kind of bring that up on screen in a minute as to like reasons as to why people are going down that route with it. And then you've got Heimdall. Heimdall seems to be all about keeping your Aegon alive a little bit longer to like help him in the fight, so to speak. So that's kind of like one of the main reasons that you know, Heimdall's in on the team. And then Nick Fury, I want to say, is either specifically taking on something or it's in there because it's trying to you know, if he's alive, then he can have some sort of benefit to attack rating. Or what I think is actually is part of just a synergy grouping around Aegon. So let's just kind of like quickly do that. Where we've got Aegon, which will just kind of like slot into there. We have got Nick Fury, which is nowhere in sight. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. Nick Fury. I've probably just gone past it. He's in the team. Oh my word, Richard. It's late when I'm recording this as well. I've functioning on less sleep is not a good thing. But yeah, so we've got that we put Proxima in. And of course got Nick Fury as part of, like, I think it's just there for attack rating purposes, because as soon as we start putting in the likes of, in this particular scenario, you don't have to do the setup, because you could be like, oh, I'll slot that in instead for this, rather than kind of going grabbing Juggernaut and going, oh, slot Juggernaut in there like that, as you just saw on screen. And then of course we've got in Heimdall, which is, I think I've got a 5-star version somewhere. I've got him somewhere. He's going to be found. Like, I'm going to find him. I felt like I just found him there. And we got him there to intercede. So it just helps out with keeping your Aegon alive for longer, or bringing him back from the dead, as you were. Interesting. Always interested to follow Kam. What Kam's kind of like perk, which is didn't get any solos, but Aegon is cheesy with Heimdall. Overall 30 revives, 30 single revives, not bad at all. The gem will be saved until Cyber Weekend pulls from class 7 stars weren't great, but the gem matters way more. Agreed. And that's why I think a lot of people, for me personally, I'm waiting for Cyber Weekend deals first, because it's like, well, look, all my units, am I losing all my units to this? Am I investing my units in Cyber Weekend deals? Am I boycotting Banquet Event? Bypassing Banquet Event to focus on this? You got to make decisions. You got to make very, very important decisions with this. The other interesting things that come about from this is, like, this is the path champions for, you know, Kam put together. Said he took the Sauron Silver Surfer path with this team right here. So like Aegon, Juggernaut, Heimdall, Angela, Nimrod. Interesting combination. Whether or not you want to rank 5 any champions before going in or ascending them, again, it's down to a personal perspective there. But Juggernaut may be that kind of like interesting choice on this. And even asked the question on some stuff. You know, Kam's very good. It said, nah, Nimrod melted him, and my Iron Man is only rank 4. Yeah, so that's in. Oh, no Iron Man could be useful for Sauron. Yeah. But also from a community standpoint, like, what other kind of like teams are people using and setting up with? You know, ask some questions on stuff. Some person used Psycho Man against ex Sauron. Okay, fair play. Karate Mike did OG Storm. Rank 1 Wong with a 3-star relic in Necropolis Red Goblin. Literally my second try. Wong is just made for this. If I had a better relic, that would probably be a solo, since I was able to survive for about 50 seconds, even after charges dropped to 0. With more relic procs, I would have won more time to finish the guy. Wong will probably be nuts for all opponents that do energy damage on their specials and buff heavy dudes. In those fights, you can without sweat keep an easy flow of the fight with a constant SP2 spam. Also saw this path with Trap Node that gives everyone indestructible on medium dashes. I wonder if Awakened Wongers is best counter for this. Interesting. And obviously a lot of people interested in Strife. You know, that was a team right there. People are using Shuri, Zemo, Sandman, Strife, and then Gamora at the end. I think Gamora was not requested. It was kind of like recommended by the people at Kabam. They actually said about Gamora being a potential option. So yes, that's interesting. Higher star relic requires less hit to fill up, so you can use them more often, which extends the necro timer a little bit. That's it. And again, that's interesting to note with that one on building it. So you've got to be very, 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 very specific there. Mr. Fantastic. I soloed Wiccan and Dragoman with her, I think referring to Shuri. So Shuri, I think, is one of these kind of like really cool options as going a different route and a different way. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for Vox. Was surprisingly good for quite a few fights. Nice. So yeah, that's kind of like interesting stuff, interesting news as well. I think as well to kind of like from a completion standpoint, it's interesting to note who and what people are using. A lot of people saying that Aegon being the one to go. I think the problem is going with kind of a not a sheep mentality. It's just a case of like they see one person do it and it's like, well, should we do the rest? Should I actually do all of it with it? And I think that's the thing about setup. Like, I'm thinking about now, like who I'm using as a team I don't necessarily want to go down one route with kind of just using Aegon, but maybe it's a case of like, I've got it and I've got it at 200 signature, so it's kind of like, well, I could do that, or I could rank 2 my Shuri and have a go with that. So there's I've got options, but as I said, it's all about Cyber Weekend next week. Where's that other rank up gem coming? I'll do a completion. I don't know if I'll do an exploration of Necropolis before like this side of the year. Like it just depends on timing. There's a lot of stuff that I need to get done and videos I want to make, but yeah, it's really interesting stuff as to like what people are using champions wise for this, and this is why you know, it's important to, you know, we do videos like this to have a look at, you know, what's going on. Interesting to note with this as well, I saw this from Kam, who said that important Necropolis tip from my latest run: don't run Aegon with the Black Panther relic. It inflicts a physical vulnerability on every crit, and that shows up on the HUD every time, making it impossible to see the Grandmaster prompts. Go with Winter Soldier instead. Black Widow and Valk can whiff. So Winter Soldier being that kind of recommended one. And ask question: I'm already at the Psycho Man with a BP relic. If you pause, can you see it? Yes, it definitely is not worth backing out, especially since Aegon just burst through Grandmaster. If you pause, you can see it, but be aware that this is currently another bug where you unpause, you dash forward. Just be aware of it. It's not gonna get you wrecked. So yeah, I thought I'd do a quick kind of like roundup video. I've put the link in the description to some of the sources and things mentioned, which I think can be quite handy for, you know, creating teams. And as I'm prepping myself, I'll be looking at, you know, what other people use for different things, kind of put together as much information as possible, because I want to, you know, do this in the best possible circumstances and also the most efficient way possible. As I said, we've got to wait for Cyber Weekend. Like, I've got to find out, you know, as a non-spending player, where my units being invested through November, December, you know, and am I going to be doing a run before the expiry of the event, of the special death tally event, which, look, it can be quite important because, as I said, one key thing, and I will mention this, I'll keep mentioning this until, and I will do a separate video to kind of like, you know, show the evidence, and we need to back it up by having a look at Cyber Weekend deals. You might be best off as a non-spending player, if you have to do a run, saving your units and you know, doing a Necropolis run, because a lot of the stuff that you'll get as deals, it could be a case of like, if you spend, I don't know, 10,000 units on deals, you could literally get them for free if you did a completion of the Necropolis event, because the deathless, the death total, the death count event is literally going to give you what you'd lose out from the Cyber Weekend if you didn't purchase in it. As I said, I need to do like a video kind of like showcasing that in a better way rather than me just saying it. But I think people get that point, like your units. I mean, the point is units. Invest them wisely. And, you know, congratulations to Seaton, who was the 2020 Abyssal Legends first to complete, and the 2023 Necropolis world first to complete as well. Still don't know who the 100% is. Is it Pepe? Hope it's Pepe. In any case, that's been a video. Have a lovely Friday. I'm going to take a break and then upload some content at the weekend. And then, yeah, it's my birthday on Monday, so should be doing some live streams. I need to catch up on stuff badly in MCOC, so hopefully see you then. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.